Here comes the bride. Here comes the bride. All right.
Oh my goodness.
We are here, man. Late for our own wedding. Oh my gosh. That's how it goes sometimes. Caterers be
All
messing
right.
up things and the flowers come out flat. Man, what are you gonna do? You gotta fix that stuff. Anyways, how you guys doing? How you doing, Austin?
How you doing? Okay, I'm just checking we're on. We're live. Okay. All right. Yes, my name is Austin
Mm-hmm. My name is Josiah.
and we are the super
But
late cinema bros.
Cinema
Cinema bros. Cinema bros.
Brothers. Super late
Uh,
Cinema
we
Brothers.
apologize for the late start for those of you who are joining us live. Apparently there were some technical difficulties and drivers that had to be updated and
Mm-hmm.
just computer issues. And so we are
Yeah,
here.
we got it. We got it sorted. Looks like everything's running okay now.
All right.
Feeding my family came first, guys. I had to say that's the number one thing, and then the driver's issues popped up right afterwards. Until y'all feed my family too. I'm just joking. Just messing. Just
It's a
messing.
heavy burden. It's a heavy burden for a channel with what 50 51. How many
Maybe like
oh
53,
55.
54,
We have 55
55,
subscribers.
55, 55.
So if
All
each of you
right.
take a week to feed his
Mm,
family,
mm.
you know,
Dude, then we're
you can make
covered,
some money.
man. That's community living right there, right?
Yeah.
Something
All
like
right.
that.
So what do we have on the docket today, Josiah?
We're talking about Maggie Gyllenhaal's film. I put The Bride. I guess it's called Bride. At least on the poster here, it says Bride. I keep seeing it listed as The Bride. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Um.
Eh,
Anyways, it's don't stress too much about it. I won't stress too much
no,
about it,
please don't.
and you shouldn't stress too much about it.
Not
But
at all.
for your for your convenience, I will let you know if you were to try to find this in the AMC app, it's under The Bride exclamation mark, not just Bride. But anyways, yeah, that's what we're talking about today. As you can see, Jesse Buckley, Christian Bale playing the titular character and supporting character, or I guess it's character and lead, other lead character. I don't know. But who knows how these things work? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess yes. Sunday they'll tell us how this works. No, they won't tell us how this works Sunday.
Do do you
We're
care?
we're not
Does it
going to
matter?
get into the slap. I mean, there's no more exciting things that can happen. We don't care.
All right. Well, we are now entering our spoiler-free territory, so I'm gonna read the summary, the synopsis of the film, just to get everybody up to speed,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll do what we normally do. We will give our kind of speed run, and then we'll get into it in spoilers. All right, and we'll give you a spoiler alert before we get there. So let's get started.
Yeah,
The
let's do it.
Bride. The Bride is framed as a story that Mary Shelley wished to tell after Frankenstein, but never could in her lifetime. Set in 1936 Chicago, the film follows Frankenstein's monster, who, after a century of loneliness, seeks out Dr. Cornelia Euphronius, a scientist whose work on reanimation offers him hope for companionship. Together, they successfully revive a woman who looks like the bride, or who becomes the bride, but the process leaves her without memory of her previous life. Taking advantage of her amnesia, the monster tells her that they are already together and that she lost her memory in an accident. Uh, as the newly formed couple navigates their relationship and attempts to build a life together, they find themselves in all kinds of predicaments. Um,
Sure.
this
Yep.
film
Yep.
explores themes of identity, deception, and what it means to truly know and love someone. Uh, mm, all right. The narrative delves into questions of loneliness and the desperate measures people take to escape isolation, asking whether companionship achieved through manipulation can evolve into something authentic. Through its Depression era framework, the film ultimately asks what price we pay for love, whether redemption is possible, uh, and if two damaged souls can find genuine connection even when their foundation is built on deception. All right. So I'm actually not a big fan of that synopsis.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
gives a little bit. It gives a little bit away. I
Hmm.
cut out parts of it as I was reading it,
Yeah.
just because I want to be able to talk about it with with a fresh lens in the spoiler territory.
Mm.
All right.
Fair.
So with that
Fair.
said, before we get there, um, you know what? I'll go first this time. Normally I ask you, and then I kind of
All right.
piggyback off what you're saying.
All right. All
I'll
right.
go first this time. Um, The Bride. When we think about shameless theater camp, uh, passion projects, vanity pieces, this film often comes to mind, even though it just came out. And yeah, if you like, if you like, I don't know, if you like an attempt at a clever movie, if you're curious to see how this movie actually materializes, check it out. Um, yeah, otherwise, I don't know. Uh, Everything I want to talk about in this movie is spoiler territory. All right. I'm understanding the shirt reference now. Um, but Frankenstein is no Krillin. And so what are you gonna
Stein
do?
is it's not Krillin. Yeah,
I mean, for one thing, he has a nose. So,
that's true. Yeah, although
you
he
know,
he he might be the strongest human on the planet.
yeah,
It's probably the case.
um, sure. Um, I don't know. What did you think about this movie, Josiah?
All right, time for
What's your speed run? Give
I'll
me your
do I'll
speed
do
run.
I'll do a speed round on this one also. I was just I mean I was just I was just messing around with you. I wanted to try it out for one time. Try it out for one time. Mess around during the speed run. Feel free if you want to also. All right, let me take a half second. Hmm. Okay, here we go. Time for my speed run. The Bride, a film by Maggie Gyllenhaal, written also by Maggie Gyllenhaal. This is, I believe, her second film that she has directed. If you want to go find the name of the first one, feel free to look it up on Google. I do not remember at this time. Unfortunately, that is pretty much what you're going to get out of this movie as well. Unless you are hyper excited about the occult and like this particular version of it, you probably will, surprisingly, forget about everything in this movie. That said, I will pause a little bit. I do think there are a couple notable performances in here. Not the greatest performances of all time. Relatively enthusiastic, campy performances. Performances that I think display competence and beyond talent. People that are pushing what they can do. Some confusing performances for sure. Some confusing writing for sure. Confusing plot, confusing character arcs, character decisions. Sure, left, right, center. It's pretty much all confusing almost the entire time. There is something that you can trace. They're going from point A to point B to Z, D, E, F, G to end up in L, which happens to be another location by the end of the movie. Look, tearing it apart a lot, but let's be honest here. This ain't winning no nothing anywhere, anyhow, any way, shape, or form. I will give it that there are some stylistic kind of elements to it. There's some cool design, some nice uh, production design, some cool costuming, fun moments here and there that wind up happening. One person or another is gonna find one or two of her Maggie Gyllenhaal's jokes that she wrote in here funny. There's gonna be probably 5 people in the United States that this is their best movie, most favorite movie of all time. Most likely, you're in high school. That's totally okay. But yeah, I don't know if I need to finish anything. I mean, the movie almost isn't finished in a way itself. Look, I'll just tell you, we all got our Transformers, okay? Transformers 1 through 15 is not gonna be moving anybody's minds and hearts in any area in particular. Is there some really good technology on display here and there? For sure. There's some stupid, ridiculous moments that you're looking for that you'll be satisfied with. Yes. This is somebody's Transformers. So look, if you already love the genre, maybe give it a little bit of a try. But um, look, this is not Del Toro's Frankenstein. This is not the immediate sequel or anything close to it. Uh, I think she took some chances, Mrs. Gyllenhaal. She put a lot of her brother in this movie.
Oh
Almost ruins
yeah.
it to some degree. But look, yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
this might be your Transformers. And look,
Oh,
look
I didn't even think
I'm just
about
gonna
that.
say,
Oh.
you might love it if you like the graphic that you see right here. If you like her, you know, paint splattered black lips, seductive eye with the wavy hair that is signifying a little bit of like excitement and eccentricity to her. You may wind up enjoying it. Just don't expect anything out of it. Just be there for the vibe, and you might get a whole lot about it. But yeah, The Bride, a modern day Transformers for the occult. There we go.
All right. Um, this movie is extraordinarily pretentious. Um,
Yeah.
this
Speak.
concludes our spoiler-free. Oh,
You know what?
this
I'm like,
concludes.
I see the connections. I see the connections. Maggie Gyllenhaal was in The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight had the Joker. Her character was killed by the Joker. Maggie Gyllenhaal was inspired by the Joker. The Joker became Joaquin
Oh,
Phoenix. Joaquin
oh,
Phoenix Joker inspired.
don't bring the Dark Knight into this mess, please. Oh man. Oh. All right. You know what?
That's
Let's get right
probably
into
how Christian
spoilers.
Bale's in this movie. Let's be honest. That's probably how
Yeah.
they made a movie
All
together
right.
one time and they're friends. You know?
All right. Look, we're gonna get into spoiler territory. Let's just rip this band-aid off.
Yes. Yes.
If you have not seen this movie, that's cool. Just stick with us. You're good. But from this point on, it will be spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Um, here we go. Let's get this right out the way. Um, this is a streaming movie if you have to. This is a streamer. Okay, let's just all right. There's not a whole lot I like about this movie. Um,
Yeah.
like there's things that it does competently, but like
Okay.
it didn't make me enjoy the movie.
Mm,
Like the
mm.
set pieces are competent in you know what? No, not even like so I didn't know what time period it was exactly at the beginning of the movie because it wasn't super clear. I don't recall seeing a bunch of cars. When he's talking to Carol, who's the doctor who plays her? Annette
Um.
Benning.
Oh, I don't remember the actress's name. I would believe you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Um, truth be told, I found her more attractive than the bride. Um, listen, I'm struggling. I'm really struggling to not say some viciously hilarious jokes about Maggie Gyllenhaal that are not kind. And I'm just
Mhm.
Josiah, I'll have to talk to you about it
Mhm.
offline.
Mhm. Mhm.
Oh, I'm trying. I want you guys to know
You're telling me
I'm
you
trying
were
to keep
like you saw her in Secretary and oof, man, changed your life. Changed your life.
listen, listen, it's not fair. There's a Family Guy joke. You know what? It's
Y'all can
it's
look it
messed
up.
up. It's
Y'all can
super
look it
messed
up.
up.
Don't
It's
don't.
super messed up. And I'm just not
You know what? Maybe
I'm
we're
so
telling you
tempted.
guys not to go look it up. Maybe don't go.
No, don't. Listen, I'm not I'm not trying to go there, but like, oh man, listen, we'll have to talk offline. Just I'm
For
trying
sure.
not
For
to.
sure. For sure. Yeah.
Um, but there is like nothing.
So this was Jesse Buckley playing the bride. Um,
There's
also known
nothing.
Penelope. Also
Yeah,
Ida. Ida was her real name.
Ida,
Ida.
whatever.
Also the writer of Frankenstein herself. Um,
Yeah.
you know.
th- Listen, ladies and gentlemen, like there's like I, I was under the impression that the movie was going to be a certain way based on the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, there might be some, hard R content in this movie. And technically
Mm.
there is. Bro, there's nothing
Yeah.
sexy about the movie at all. There's
No.
nothing. Like,
Mm-mm.
again, there's scenes that, don't need to be in the movie, whatever, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't these aren't whatever. Whatever. That's not even
Which
the
I can
main issue.
appreciate to some degree. Yeah.
Fine. Sure. Whatever. Okay, okay, here's the thing that took me out of the movie immediately. It's the dumb writing of the bride. She's got
Hmm.
like this Tourette's thing going on. I'm talking about it's like this movie is a textbook example of something of a screenplay that should be a stage play and not a movie,
Mm. Mm.
right? None of like this is so
Okay.
like cringe, corny, like this attempt at like I'm talking this. No, I'm talking like this. It's like, oh gosh, the whole movie's like this. Like who taught? Oh, it's so dumb, and it doesn't land at all. I'm like, why are you
That
doing
part
this?
really doesn't. It certainly doesn't. It doesn't get to any satisfying conclusion within the story or plot or character development. It's just somehow Mary Shelley is able to possess Ida.
Is that what it is? Oh gosh, who
Yeah, she has
cares?
her own
Like,
monologue at the beginning about like,
oh,
oh,
okay,
I'm
so,
gonna choose this woman. Oh yes, she's so
oh,
smart.
sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So I missed the first couple minutes.
Oh,
I
okay,
walked
okay,
in. So by
okay,
the time I got in, she was like on the tables in the restaurant.
okay. So yeah,
So like I missed something.
yeah. Let me give you the quick breakdown. Quick breakdown. The movie opens up with it's like black and white where there's a dark room. Jesse Buckley is playing Mary Shelley, the writer of Frankenstein. She's talking about like, you know who I am, like I wrote this story, like, but it's
Oh,
not the story I wanted to tell. Like it was a challenge and I did it, but there's a greater story that I want to tell, and I'm gonna tell it. And then it says like 1980, I think what 1880 something, 1830 something. I forgot the date specifically. And then she's like, I've been in this state for a decade, for not a decade, for a century. And then somehow she's able to look into the real world and see Ida, and she's like, "Oh yes, this woman is smart and intelligent, and I can combine my mind with hers, and it'll be two minds in one
oh,
body. Uh, and through her, I
oh,
will tell the greatest story that'll make you stand up and yell,
oh,
help!" Um, and
oh.
so they show Ida just like sitting on the side, with all these some other girls in a club, and a couple guys that are maybe kind of gangsters. Possibly they seem like they're third ringers, fourth ringers. They're not, anyone special. Um, but they feel like they're special. Like they talk a big game. They're like forcing Ida to like eat an oyster and everything, and she like vomits on the guy, and um, she wasn't trying to really engage with things. She was not really feeling the situation. She's kind of dozing off, and then all of a sudden she gets possessed by Mary Shelley, that then does this bizarre
Is there some reason
1930s
why she
radio
gets
announcer
possessed?
voice.
Is Mary Shelley just like omniscient and just kind of looking and seeing this one?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, all right,
I mean,
whatever.
it started off like that. It's like, okay, well, if that's what some of the rules are of this world, I guess, I guess
What? Whatever.
it was the biggest thing going in this movie. I was like, is this how it's opening up? Like, why do they do this? Now that said,
Yeah,
I don't have familiarity with the original Bride of Frankenstein. Maybe she does have like multiple personality disorder in some way, shape or form. Um, it's a crazy choice. It's a crazy choice. But my assumption
yeah.
is like through her doing that, she's able to help Ida achieve the life that she yearns for, but is not bold enough to take for herself. Something like that, I'm sure.
But like that doesn't even pay off because she dies and then she gets resurrected and then she gets manipulated and this is dumb. Okay, so yeah, her like like all that
Hmm.
stuff like
Yeah,
oh god, I was like number
everyone's
one either
rightfully looking at her like she's crazy because she
it's
is.
either acted really poorly or it's just written really poorly. Or it's something that works on the stage before an
Hmm.
audience,
Hmm.
maybe, but does not translate onto film at
Hmm.
all.
Hmm.
It looks so hackneyed and like why are you doing like this is dumb. Like don't do this. Stop.
Hmm.
Um yeah,
Yeah.
this whole movie is just sterile. It's like it's trying to be an homage like these old like 19 turn of the century black and white films. It's like certain actresses during that time, the kind of vaudeville kind of act, that kind of ragtime vaudeville aesthetic. It's trying to harken that. It's trying to
Hmm.
harken Bonnie and Clyde. It's trying
Hmm.
to harken some gangster movies, whether it's like Scarface or The
Hmm.
Godfather or whatever.
Hmm.
It's trying to like take all these different pieces, and it's just not good. The central
Oh,
relationship, it's just not a good relationship. It's not an interesting relationship. It's like the worst
yeah.
part of Adam's Family Values, which was the relationship between Uncle Fester and his wife, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so, like, that was the weakest part of the movie, even though it was, like, central to the plot. It was also kind of the weakest at the same time. And
Hmm.
it wasn't maybe it wasn't the absolute weakest, but this film is like a weaker version of that.
Hmm.
And they just put themselves in completely unnecessary situations, and they kill people they don't need to kill.
Hmm.
And then they try to have like this plot where like she's starting to remember things and the injustice. And then you get all these dumb prostitutes that are like copying her, like copycat, like with like
Dude, the brain
black.
attack moment, like, really? Are you serious? Okay. Okay.
This is all dumb.
That was extremely dumb. Yeah.
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 And so yeah, they're following around this actor, or not really following him around. They just end up running into him at one point, and then there's like a whole dance scene. Like this is so pretentious.
Mm.
This is so unyieldingly pretentious and up its own butt. Like I can't I you can't take it seriously,
Mhm.
but not in a good or fun way. It's just like this
Mhm.
is tedious. This movie is tedious to watch. It's just the main character, it's just mainly the
Mhm.
bride making really stupid decisions and then Frankenstein going along with it. Um
Oh
is
yeah.
this Christian Bale's best acting?
There were some
No.
times where I was watching this movie and I'm like, how is this guy in this movie? How's Christian Bale in this movie? It had to have been like he's friends with Maggie from The Dark Knight or something.
Man.
Like, man.
Yeah, this is a like shameless vanity puff piece. Like this is a less like I feel like Sophia Ford Coppola would do something like this, but it would be way more artsy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It would be way more artsy caricature, like way more,
Mm.
virgin suicides kind of thing, which
Mm-hmm.
I think she did direct or something. Like it's like it would be like way more posh and this is just it's so basic and
It,
I don't like
I
it.
think yeah. If the script was much better, this
Yeah.
could have been a better film by a good amount. But the script is so poor. All the other
Yeah,
things that
Penelope
like are done
Cruz.
competently don't bring it up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Penelope Cruz is in this movie. And and it's almost like what is she doing in this? It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
She was there, but like she was like she's a grown woman. She's older than me. But like I'm just seeing her in this movie. It's almost like she looks like a like an adolescent fish out of water. It's just so weird the way she acts it and the way it's written. Now I'm the one in charge. I'm the detective. Like, oh gosh, please stop. At the end, this is
And then they even made fun of it at the same time because the policeman is like the chief or commissioner or I don't know who it is, sergeant, doesn't matter. He's like, "Who are you?"
yeah, this is like that episode of South Park, but like so much worse and not funny. There's an
hmm
episode of South Park where like, it's like
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm missing you
very
guys.
sorry.
Hey, what is up? What is up? Keep it real. Hey, hey, Kale, how are you doing, man? How are you doing? Welcome in,
What's
guys.
up?
Welcome in.
Keep it real. Hang on. Let me. Good evening. So happy you guys could join us. Yeah, we're just over here roasting this movie.
I know, sorry, and I'm chowing down for a minute. Yeah, I missed dinner. I apologize, guys. I won't be doing this the whole time. But yeah, you guys are saying what's up. Hey, Mikhail says he saw it, felt like a film school film. Direction just wasn't there, even though it had great cast, good cast. Keep it real. They're trying to find a different type of Frankenstein, bring a different type of Frankenstein to the screen, or let's say a modern day Frankenstein. Yeah, this movie bombed at the box office.
Oh, it
7.3
bombed huge.
million, 90 million production. Oh, yeah. It was corny. It was definitely corny. Which, like, I
Like
think to some degree they try to do on purpose because, the corniness is present in a lot of, like, these type of genre, this sort of genre with, like, horror and the occult. Like, it's kind of always been a part of it, but it's paired with, like, feels like a poor script and yeah, a lot of bad decisions.
it
Mikhail
probably
saying,
read way funnier, like reading through
yeah,
the script. It probably felt a whole lot funnier,
I
like
can see
dark
that.
comedy than it
Yeah.
actually was. And once you put it together and you have the film, and it's like
Hmm.
this is just dry and
Hmm.
bland. And this writing is not good for the screen. It might work as a play. It does not work as a film
Hmm. Hmm.
at all.
Yeah, Kale's doing good. Wishes it was a better movie. Yeah, we definitely do. I 100% see what you mean. That could have worked as a play. It probably could have. I mean, at the same time, you still need the story to make sense overall. Like, okay, I'm exaggerating to some degree. I understand where they went from the beginning to the end of the movie, what they were trying to do overall. Like there is a level of understanding what was intended. I think there's a level of like the actors trying to give it all that they can. But I don't know that like the character arcs made sense. I think even some of the like conflict and dilemma like between them, I must have like missed the moment where they were like intentionally lying to her. Um, but even at the same time, like once she found out like who she was and like what her name was, I actually don't even know if her character cares at that point, you know? Like she's
Yeah,
already gone on this journey. She's like she chose like, "Oh, I like the name Penelope." I thought she kind of understood that that was not really her name, that like that was the name that she's now like taking on for herself. Yeah. So
yeah,
like
like
some of the like betrayal elements didn't really land for me.
yeah,
Um
it's like this needed to be like a limited release, which it was,
mm,
but like it needed to be like it needed to go like full on like a combination of like Sophia Ford Coppola, her kind of like artsy fartsy aesthetic, and like full on Frank Miller, like Sin City or something like that. It needed to be something like that, um, for it to really kind of work and to be justified artistically, visually. It just like it almost needed to be more like a noir kind of pulp, kind of like comic book story, graphic novel kind of feel. Again, like
mm,
Sin City. It
mm-hmm.
needed to be more like that if it was gonna work. Cause like it's got a lot of quirky elements, and there needs to be like a harder edge to those quirky elements. Otherwise, it's just like
Which they
ugh.
tried to do with like the mob boss just like shooting the guy right in the face, at the table and like,
That's
demanding
just poor
the tongue.
man's Godfather scene, you know? It's
Yeah.
just like
Hmm.
this isn't good.
Yeah, you do make me think though. Yeah, I think yeah, the central villain or like antagonist of the film. I mean that I guess yeah, in the past Ida had met that mob boss, but he was almost like just a side story. Oh, the mob boss name got dropped. So he's sending the worst of all of who he has to go like take her out. Um which then
Yeah.
by the way led to like the most one of the most ridiculous police shootout moments by the end of the film. But
Yeah.
yeah,
This movie is like trying to be like both surreal and fantastical and like absurd, but also grounded at the same time. And it doesn't do either one well. You know,
mhm.
they're at the big ball party, and then all of a sudden they just all start dancing. I'm like, all right.
that was
Um,
that was a big break. I was waiting to see if it was like, okay, is this another moment? Like I was saying earlier, like it feels like she was inspired by Joker. Like was there is this in their minds? Are they having this grand performance, grand dance in their
yeah.
minds, but then like we flash to cut to reality and it's not happening that way, but it doesn't matter because like they are in their minds, they've like somehow overcome something which was
Yeah.
maybe like he finally gave back to the actor that gave him so much, but the actor kind of rejected him, but he's like, okay, well that's fine, I'm gonna take what you gave me and live my life anyways.
This
um
movie is it's so pretentious that like
yeah.
I almost think they're like, "Oh, if we don't get it, that's your problem." I was like, oh, God, go bless yourself with the mercies and the kindnesses of the Most High." Like,
Uh-huh.
oh God, there's a fantastic, hilarious high school reunion episode of "It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia," where they're doing this whole dance number, and in their minds they're like, "Yeah, yeah," da, 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 da," and then and it shows what's actually happening, and they're all just drunk and like, blah, and like they're all thrown up everywhere, and like you actually see what it actually was happening. It's actually super funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Super funny.
Mhm.
It's always sunny. Like it's there. It's that style of
Oh,
humor,
yeah.
you
They
know.
got that down.
Yeah. So like this movie isn't even trying to do that. It just like kind of phases in and out, but like not in a thoughtful or even like quirky in a fun way kind of way.
Mhm.
It's just like it's just throwing stuff on the wall, and it's just yeah. It's so in a sense it's like so misguided. The direction is poor and the writing is poor and the tonal shifts are poorly executed. It's just it's this is a weak movie. I mean, okay, in fairness, I'm not really into like ragtime 1920s aesthetic. It doesn't interest me. um as much. Like there are movies that probably could pull it off. There's some good movies from that time period, but like
Mhm.
it's got to be a good movie because like the time period itself, while very consequential for Americans and American history, just I'm not drawn to that time period for films and whatnot. For
It's
period.
fair. It's fair.
And so that's my own personal like I'm just not into it personally. That's my own personal bias. Fair enough.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it,
Keep
it
it.
just like yeah.
But
Well,
I mean,
go
sometimes it does wind up working for you, right? Like,
there are a
um,
couple movies
yeah.
like like Cinderella Man with Russell Crowe is a good movie.
Hmm.
That takes place during the Depression. I mean, that's a big part of the movie, right? The Depression
Hmm.
and the poverty that everybody
Hmm.
was going through.
Hmm.
There are
Yeah.
good movies that are based in that time period. It's just not the first thing I look for.
Fair.
Um,
Yeah.
so I mean, whatever. Um,
Keep It Real is
there's a
saying it opened in 3,300 theaters, bombed big time. They gave you a
bomb
dead
big time.
Batman. Did get a dead
See, this
Batman.
this this movie needed to. It was always it was a long shot that it was going to make money. I was gonna say one period piece that I do like during this time, like the Roaring Twenties, Harlem. It's called Hoodlum with Lawrence Fishburne. That's actually a fantastic movie. Go check
Mm.
out Hoodlum.
Mm.
It's got like several iconic scenes.
All right.
But and it's a movie. It was made in the early '90s, so it's like a
Mm.
really young Lawrence Fishburne. It's super dope. Go check it out.
Yeah.
Harlem Nights is another classic, unsung classic. That's Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor and Red Fox and Della Reese. Like there's all kinds of incredible black actors and actresses in
Mm.
that movie.
Mm.
Um, but what was I saying about this movie? Yeah, it's just there's not much to say about this movie, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh,
I,
what I
I
was
think
saying
they
was
wanted to go for, yeah, they didn't want to make it
hang on.
modern day. Go ahead.
What I meant to say was in order for this movie to be kind of a success, because it was a long shot that it was ever going to be a commercial box office success. Just the premise and stuff, it's just I don't see it as being people's alley. The general movie going public. I don't think they're really I don't know. I don't see it being having mass appeal
Mm.
amongst a broad audience, a broad swath of the American movie going public.
Mm.
This movie needed to be like a critical darling. Like it didn't make much money, but I mean it was really high. It's like kind of almost Oscar bait. And there's a lot of conversation about strong performances. That
Mm.
it needed to be in that realm for it to be justified, and it absolutely was not. Um,
No, no,
I think
unfortunately
this will
not.
go
Like,
down as like just really embarrassing for a lot of the people that were involved, or it's just something at the very least it's a film that they don't really go back to or talk about much, because it was such a lemon. Uh,
yeah. Yeah, people may point out some positive things, like set design and costuming and everything, and they're them trying to the actors, putting their hearts into it. It doesn't feel like they were just necessarily phoning it in. At least the main cast. Here, real fast, let me catch up.
yeah,
So yeah, Keep It Real was thinking it was gonna feel kind of like the first Joker movie. That's kind of what I was thinking as well.
they gave
ninety
you a dead
million
Batman. Yeah,
dollars that could have been made on 20 million. I'm not like super familiar with like spending money in on cinema and making movies myself. I always think about Godzilla minus one being like what $13 million.
right.
Uh, yeah, 100% they
This
could
was a
have made
huge
this.
loss for Warner Brothers. This movie is a
Yeah,
huge loss. This is like one of those movies that they write off on their taxes.
yeah. I almost
Like
don't
there's
even know
movies that do
why it
really
would have
bad.
cost that much outside of like I don't know.
Actors'
Did Christian
salaries.
Bale ask for like 30 million or something? Like,
Man,
um,
sure.
yeah. They gave us Frankenstein who wanted to get laid. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. It's so sad. Yeah. At the very least, he does like correct the doctor and is like, that's a part of it for sure. He wants court. Yeah. He does. Oh man, he does wind up laying that out to her. I Yeah. I mean, I understand. At the very least, he's looking for an actual relationship. Okay, I can see how they were setting that up to be a bit of an arc within the movie for him also, or maybe he starts off wanting something a little more superficial. Like he wants a relationship, he wants companionship, but then the superficial element of of having coitus is there. But then he has this moment like halfway through the movie where it's potentially going to happen, and he winds up
Mm.
turning her down because it seems to be the wrong moment. He's not having a romantic experience with her. She's just wanting to do it just to pass the time in a way to help him go to sleep. Um, so like I see like the hints of like what the intent was to like have him start somewhere and then want something more meaningful by the end of the film. It still feels a little odd, like him starting off that way. Um, but it would be a reality of like him being around for 100 years. Okay, him not having any companionship. Didn't he at one point say that like he'd never like he's never touched someone's hand or something? He said something to
Yeah,
the
he
doctor.
never shook somebody's hand.
Never shook someone's hand. So like I think it's supposed to be a part of that loneliness. I get it. It just feels a little weird when they're trying to make a joke of it at the same time. Like the doctor being like, "Oh, can't you go to some other services for that if that's what you want?" Um, yeah. Anyways, oh yeah, he was saying Harlem Nights and Hoodlums were good movies with good cast, great cast. Mikhail saying it could have gotten a following if it had some charm to it. Oh yes, that is a scathing truth about it. I do think some people are gonna be like, "Wow, Jessie Buckley's performance was fantastic."
Was
I
it?
would say it was. I would say it was exuberant. I think she was. I think she was definitely trying to put her heart and soul into it. I don't know that it was layered. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like
She
if
Nicolas Caged it.
this that's true. It's like when you put when you bring a prompt to like a room full of actors and you're like, all right, you've got two different minds in your own mind. Like what is it gonna be? It's I feel like one person would do 1930s radio voice, very awkward, weird character. Um,
Dominique, get to the chopper. It's
yeah,
like, all
she
right,
has she has
whatever.
some funny. She does have some funny moments.
Does she? When? Name
Look,
one.
look. See, this is the problem with a movie like this. I will. There'll be a funny moment, and I'll be like, okay, I got to remember this. I got to latch on to this. And then the movie keeps going, and then it just like vanishes into the ether because like so much, such a poor representation of a film is like before my
Oh
eyes.
yeah,
It like
and
wipes
then
my
like
mind of the fun moment sometimes.
they're like sometimes they are the movie that they're watching. I'm like, all right, this is all like just it's so it's again this is I keep going back to this. It's so pretentious. It's just expecting you to get it in the reference, and it's like this is bad filmmaking. This is like up your own butt, like self-referential. Look at me, I watched a whole bunch of old time ragtimey movies. Look at me, I'm referencing this.
Mm,
Aren't I smart? Aren't
mm.
I clever? No, you're just a bad filmmaker. Like this is bad. This is not a good movie. Yes, you saw a
Yeah,
bunch of
there's
movies.
something.
Congratulations.
There's something a little meta, obviously, about his only connection with the world is through cinema and storytelling. Oh my gosh. Oh man. It just struck me like this is trying to do some things that Hamnet did to some degree as far as like appreciating storytelling in the way that we can connect with each other through it.
What is it like
So,
the whole the don't never meet your heroes trope?
uh-huh. Yeah.
Because they're just like jerks in real life.
Yeah.
There's definitely that. And I thought he
Yeah.
was going to like what movie is that from? There's a bajillion movies that like, you don't meet your heroes because then you realize they're terrible people.
I
What
can't
movie? And
think
then the
of
end
which one specifically, but it's been in a million of them. You're right.
bajillion movies,
Yeah. Yeah. It's probably
I
been in one of the Avengers movies even. Wouldn't be surprised. Welcome on in, Genobi 21. Yes, all right, all right, all right. The last hurrah before Paramount takes over Warner Brothers. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, is that going to make any difference at all? Well, probably not. I'm sure the executives over at Paramount were once executives over at Warner Brothers and Netflix that, like, they may have a different like goal, overall goal to some small
Isn't
degree, but
Zavlag? What's his name?
yeah,
Zavlav. The guy that was
Zaslav, Zaslav,
he
I
was like
think.
he was like the wrecking shop of like Time Warner,
Uh
AOL
huh,
Time Warner. He
yeah,
was just slashing everything.
mm-hmm.
I forget his name.
Sound like so. I
It,
think
it,
that I think it was Zaslav,
yeah, it was
but
a
yeah,
big story a couple years ago during those a couple mergers or potential mergers, and they're slashing CNN, slashing Discovery Channel, just making all these slash because none of these channels were making any money. They're just being
mm-hmm,
propped up by cable subscriptions, but
mm-hmm,
that's going away because people aren't watching cable like that anymore.
mm-hmm,
The generation that's still watching cable, um, they're they're phasing out basically. They're going to be with the Lord, and so
mm-hmm.
that number gets lower and lower every year, and everybody's streaming now. So yeah, Zaslav,
Yeah.
whatever.
It's funny. I'm looking at the poster right here, and I do like some of the design decisions they made. It like her makeup kind of situation and like explosion of black on white skin. There's some element of it being cool, but at the same time, when the scene played out, I was like, brother, like, can you be
Just wipe it
nice and
off.
like wipe this lady's face? Like, are you guys okay? Like, can you show a little kindness to her for half a second? And then the doctor was
Yeah.
like, oh, and it turns out that stains her. Okay. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that was definitely I want this design thing to happen, and so it's gonna be written into the story in this way, and then we're gonna have a line to make it clear that like, oh no, it's permanent. Um,
And then they have the whole they go to a club and she discovers that she's the free spirit trope. Oh,
mm,
oh, oh, please. Oh.
that was so uncomfortable. Like to
Yeah, and then she gets groped by a bunch of like gay sailors or something. I don't know, man. Whatever.
I don't like the implications of what that says about Frankenstein. At the same time, this man's living in time and out and separated from society.
Yeah.
So, is he gonna be a voyeur? I guess,
I don't know,
but
but then like he kills these two guys, he curb stomps one of them, and then somebody takes a picture of it. Like who oh, gosh, this is so like, stuff's just kind of happening.
that's always a small frustration of mine. They have like where it's essentially either like behind the camera or around the camera, like someone that we never see. Like there's multiple shots looking like down the alleyway that they're looking. There's nobody there with the camera. And then even later on in the film, they show like on a newspaper a shot of them like reaching towards the camera. That never happened. There was nobody there. It was just camera shot. Anyways, it's a minor nitpick.
It's the Peter Parker Spider-Man mystery Spider-Man shot.
Hey,
Okay, and
look!
the other
Hey,
thing,
look! Credit to him. He was setting up those cameras in his webbing around the city. So,
yeah.
that's
Okay,
where all of his
the
money
other
was going. He had like
yeah,
15 cameras set up
all
all
right.
around the place.
Okay, so the other thing that bothers me about like modern movies nowadays when they try to like do a timepiece and like whenever they take a picture and it's so clearly photoshopped and computer animated, like this is him when he was younger. It's like you don't you're not even making the film grade look convincing,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So like
Yeah,
when Jake Gyllenhaal is doing he's the movie star singing and stuff, it
yeah.
just looks like a black and white movie in high definition. It doesn't look like a movie that was shot in the 1920s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you
It's
could
just like
tell
it's bad.
that did not.
It's
Yeah, that
bad.
didn't. It didn't look good. It it worked. It worked for WandaVision because we knew like
Right.
this is a fake reality that she's made, so it didn't need to look like pristine, shot on film, 1930s, film grain or whatever. This didn't exactly, capture that. Um, you could tell though,
Yeah,
funnily enough, she didn't want to make her brother like a full villain character. So when he's like, he's conversing with him, one, he's like somehow blind and oblivious to like all the staples on him and the hideousness. Like everybody else in the film like reacted immediately to how hideous he was. But two, he was like he seemed to give him a time and space to talk, but then you could tell it was like that character where like, oh no, the people around me like aren't going to be happy that I'm having this conversation. I gotta push him away and give him like a rude comment. Um, yeah,
yeah, that whole trope. These are all like lazy tropes. I mean, are they lazy? Okay, maybe that's uncharitable, but it's just like these like well trodden
yeah.
tropes, and it's just like when the movie's not that good to begin with, it's just like, oh, all right, like if a good movie does a trope and they normally do it well, it's like, all right, fine, I'm cool with it. But when a movie that's not that good, um, yeah,
Hmm.
this movie. And then I saw like Industrial Light and That's part of the budget. Industrial Light and Magic was like,
Yeah, maybe.
what did they do?
Well, I'm sure they. This could be one of those films where way more of like the backgrounds and environments are digitally replaced than potentially
Okay,
necessary, or even like you pick up on. So they may have done a fantastic job of like 70% of Chicago, New York was not actually there. It was just made digitally and placed. Like they
all
may
right,
have they may
fine.
have done that. Yeah.
Okay, the other thing, like just plot wise, they're on the train, and then she starts monologuing like a crazy person, and then the cop finds him, but he's like all by himself apparently, and then he gets pushed off and he dies, and they find him on the railroad tracks. Like who found him, and how did they get to the detectives? And like, oh okay, oh well they must be going to Niagara Falls. I'm like, all right,
It's funny, like the cop. I think was maybe with somebody else. He had
at
seemingly
one
like
point,
moved away, and maybe he'd walked further down the track. The way he pops up back like at the car after she's talking
while
was
the train is
almost
still moving.
comical to me. Like while it's in movie, he's like, "Oh my gosh, I heard something over here." Yeah,
But the train's
um,
like, how are you like? It's dumb, and it
yeah,
happens because otherwise they would have never caught these people.
yeah,
They would have gotten away with everything.
yeah, yeah.
They had to make them like this, yeah, this
I
tragic Bonnie
see
and Clyde
what they were
couple.
trying to do with that. I see that they wanted her to have the challenge of like, well, same thing I guess that Frankenstein had. They never actually had murdered somebody, and like she was worried about him being murdered even later on in the movie, like asking if he was okay. Um, which I can appreciate. The world sees them as monsters, but they're not actually monsters. So she's not just callous and like willing to like murder people left and right or something like that. Um, but the timing of it, the way it's played out, it's not
Yeah,
it's not the
and then like
greatest.
they get pulled over by the cop, and oh well, she doesn't have her license, so I guess I'm just going to assault her. That was weird. That's weird.
Look, I, you know, there's a reality to that I think potentially is appropriate for the time period. Which, by the way, at the same time, like they would have 100% rejected Penelope Cruz's character, like showing up anywhere trying to act like she was a detective. But yeah,
They were
I
trying to
think
touch on that.
they were. But yeah, as far as the like assault goes, yeah, I mean, you've heard of stories of that being something that happened in the past. You've heard of stories of police abusing their power.
Sure.
Maggie Def obviously had that on display with them the whole firing squad blowing them up at the end of the movie, and a few other points. Like there's obviously a message that she has regarding police and authority and stuff. Um, I think part of the challenge is like you're talking about with tropes. I think she's taking too many tropes, too many too many messages that she's trying to put forward, all in the same movie, and just like it feels like she's throwing everything that she thinks of, and like almost all the causes and all the inspirational messaging that she wants to say to women and people who feel like other, and like I feel like she's trying to throw so much into
Oh
this
my
movie
god.
while also trying to like find the balance of it being serious but quirky, and you
Yeah,
know
like
yeah.
why are prostitutes the best proxy for that social message?
Mhm.
Like I don't like why like what are you getting at? Like what are you hoping to accomplish if that's what she's doing? And I don't know. I
My
mean, she very well
assumption
could be.
was like Frankenstein, when he passed by that area, he probably, just like with the coin situation, the penny situation, he has found ways to make it by in life in this 100 years or whatever that he's been around, to not be in the limelight. Like, I guess his story is a fictional story, but it's also a real story at the same time. But yeah, so I viewed that as like while he's walking by, he's seeing people that are, one, probably living out the life that they want to live. They have a safe space to be able to do that. Well, I guess it wasn't a safe
Yeah,
space
because they're in the
ultimately.
dregs of society. They're like on the outskirts of society,
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of social outcasts.
yeah. So it felt like if I can go anywhere to share, hopefully, like, romantic moment, I'm gonna go somewhere where I'm not gonna be rejected. Like, they can't reject me, more or less. And then when she has her, he sees how like special she is, how he's enamored by her, intrigued by her intelligence, and um, the
Is she
vivacity of
intelligent?
her. Well, at the very least, he likes her vocabulary and lexicon of words that Mary Shelley is throwing out through her.
Oh.
um yeah, so that was my thought. That's I think that's the way it plays out typically in that kind of a scenario, where it's like when you're either sought after, you're like on the run or fugitive, or you're on the outside, you don't want to stick out, you go somewhere where people are typically, hopefully, going to be hush hush, but and it's maybe going to be there's going to be a level of safety, but it's not going to be completely safe at the same time. Yeah, like I get why they went to that place. um but yeah, you would think though, if he has been living that way for 100 years, then he's probably already come, like he said, he's come across a lot of people like hating him and treating him wrongly and evil in one way or another. But then he is surprised that he's like willing to hurt somebody and potentially even murder somebody. He's surprised by like the anger and the loss of control that he has. It's tough. Like, maybe he just keeps on vanishing, like he just will leave, but since she's there, she kind of like forces him to slow down, and she's being pursued by people. So like I understand how we get to that point, but I think there are a number of like logical leaps like within understanding their character that they may have learned already, especially Frankenstein may have learned about himself already. I don't know i
Yeah.
I
There's
feel like I'm trying too hard to to give a lot of concessions for the writing in this film.
Yeah. I'm sure if I think about it, there's some huge plot holes, but honestly, I kind of dozed off at a certain point in this movie. I was like, it just was not.
Mhm.
It's just not good.
One thing that could have made it a whole lot better was the actual like interaction between the Bride and Frankenstein and the detectives. Like, I guess like the overall chase didn't really feel alive. Like I didn't really care and it didn't seem like they really they didn't know each other. Like when they meet up and they're like, the detective is like Ida and like sharing his life story with her basically and how he's sorry and everything. They're basically like, "What? Who are you? Like, what's going on here?" Like,
Yeah,
so yeah, if they had built up the conflict between basically like the dog and the cat in the movie, as far as classic chase kind of
yeah, and if she'd had
two
like more like
species naturally being at odds kind of a
right,
situation, like maybe it'd been
if
more way more exciting.
she would have had more like actual flashbacks of like what happened, in her
Hmm.
life to
Hmm.
connect the dots, that would have been more
Yeah.
interesting. Things were revealed progressively over time,
Yeah.
but no, it's like, oh, what is your name, child? Like that. I was like, oh God, who cares?
And she was
Goodness,
like
like who cares?
intentionally keeping her name from her.
For what?
And
Who
then there was the
cares?
weird, like, I don't even know how, like, her dreams and reality were kind of like blending together because there was that, like, broken fluorescent bulb that, like, she bumped
Yeah,
into to wake up. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff left on the table that they didn't, like, really see to any conclusion.
but
Ida didn't have any kind of, like, real wrestle or recognition of, like, what's happening with Mary Shelley, and yeah.
yeah, I don't care. It's not interesting. It's not.
Yeah.
So
Um,
yeah, the film ends like, this mad scientist gets away with like resurrecting these people twice at the end of the movie. It's just like it's supposed to be like this touchy moment where like they're holding each other's hands. They're gonna both survive, but how are they gonna get out of all this? Who cares? Like I don't care.
mhm,
I don't want to see the sequel to this film. Like I don't ever need to see it. I'm not interested.
mhm.
The movie's lame.
Do you prefer not to?
Oh gosh, please. I'm not even gonna dignify that. Uh,
Oh man. Oh, going back a half second, Mikhail is saying, yeah, I think regarding the Paramount purchase, it's not good for the industry. Going to get less movies. Sigh. Yeah. Hmm.
like
And
they
then
could have
keep it
made
real.
like
The same. Yeah.
three like movies with the budget for this movie, and it would have been fine. You know what I mean? I think we kind of need to go back to the way things were in the '90s. Uh,
I like keep it real was saying, and I was mentioning earlier, they Maggie had to have pitched this film as like their version of Joker, like somehow get that level of success as the first Joker movie.
yeah, that second Joker movie
That had
was
to have been the pinnacle.
terrible.
Well, it was. This movie
It
was
was
definitely
bad.
in production. Yeah, as that second movie was. I don't think he had come out. It was most likely in production already. Probably quite far into it. Because wasn't that second movie just last year
Yeah,
or like a year, little over a
I
year
can't
ago?
remember,
Yeah, a year and a half ago
but it was
maybe.
bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. And it was bad for a lot of the same reasons. It's like, is this reality? Is this a dream? Is this
Mm-hmm.
surreal?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had issues with that with the first Joker movie. I didn't think it was that great.
Mm.
The second movie is definitely worse. Uh, yeah, these movies. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like in another decade, past decade, they probably would have been better movies. Maybe not, but yeah, yeah. Yeah. I don't really have much more to say about this movie. I'm pretty much it's dumb. It tries to do a whole bunch of things, and it doesn't do any of them particularly well. And it's just kind of a drag to watch. It's just like it's so I don't know. Um, it's just not a fun watch.
Mhm.
It's not fun. It's not funny. I mean, there's nothing about it that's like, oh yeah, the action was dumb, but it was funny, or yeah, it wasn't very funny, but the action was really good,
Mm.
or the writing was really good, the pacing was
Mhm.
really like, no, it's just this is just a vanity piece. This is a theater camp vanity piece, and yeah, I mean, you could say the same thing about the Wicked movies, but those Wicked movies were very competent. They were very, very competent, and they were they were cast well, and yeah, those movies are far, far better than this movie.
Quite a bit.
Uh,
Quite a bit better.
All right, I think that's pretty much all I got for this movie. You have anything else?
Brother, I wanted to go to Niagara Falls, man. How did they set me up to go to Niagara Falls and we didn't go to Niagara Falls, man?
I mean, technically they were
Why
there. You
did we
saw it in the
go to Niagara Falls?
background
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
they arrived.
I guess
When
that's
Penelope
true.
Cruz and the detective arrived, he went, "Yeah, I'm just gonna go walk. You can go on ahead of me," that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They're like, wait a second. We spent our budget already. We can't render this water right now.
I mean, it's fine. I mean, the set design and everything, the production design is fine in this movie. I just, I don't care about these characters. I don't care about these zombies. I don't care. They're not fun to watch.
Hmm.
So it's just kind of dark and dreary, and I don't like it. So I don't know. Anything else? You got anything else?
Hmm. I'll think about that. But first, keep it real saying the theaters are getting a little bit sloppy. They don't have too much originality in their filmmaking. Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of like, I mean, what other stories are there to tell that aren't a
Some,
rehash of the story?
sometimes I feel that way. Also,
We're just
I,
now it's just like how artfully can you tell the same story? What level of originality can you bring to a story that's already been told? It's nobody's fault that all the stories have already been told. Uh, but
thankfully, every now and then we do get something that feels like, oh wow, yeah, I can see where the inspiration was for this film, but it established something new. But yeah, I mean, I get 100% what you're talking about, like the amount of people making stories across the last couple centuries.
yeah, I
It
mean,
feels like at some point we're gonna get to an end of all creativity, but no, that's dramatic. That's dramatic. All original stories. It's like how many what new genre can someone come up with? Is it possible to come up with a new genre? Maybe, but we won't know till it happens. And thankfully, if it happens, it'll be exciting. Like it's hopefully there is a
epic
new
fantasy,
cowboy
sci-fi,
genre that's I know, right?
romantic comedy, pulp noir,
Hmm.
who done it?
Typically, it's going to be a mashup of something. Yeah, but
A Knives Out story. Okay.
hey, man, that movie was way better than this film. That last one.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
But that's not a high bar to clear.
it doesn't need to be. It's like picking up I don't know, a reacher book or I don't know, name any sort of like how
Oh,
do you describe it
speaking
like
of
a
Reacher,
yearly like an author that
yeah,
puts out a story yearly.
right.
Like it's not the
Speaking of
greatest thing. Go ahead, go
yeah,
ahead.
speaking of Reacher,
Yeah.
I was just watching a video where the author is being interviewed about just his not romantic process, his his creative process,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and just how like he apparently he doesn't even have an outline for the books. He just kind of writes it off the top.
Oh, okay. Wow. He
Yeah.
just does like a straight ahead sort of writing. That's
Yeah,
cool.
and he said like he's like if this is a little bit of a tangent. You just because you brought up Reacher and like
Mm,
I
mm,
literally just watched this video today. I was like, "Oh, this is really
mm.
interesting."
This was Lee
Uh
Child, right?
I guess that's his name. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's an older British gentleman.
Yeah.
Yeah, real interesting story. He's like, "Yeah, I don't think I could teach anybody how to write. You know, I could teach you how to, make it in the industry, but like not how to write. That
Hmm.
kind of thing can't be taught. Either you can do it or you can't."
Hmm.
And he's like, "Yeah, for young authors, like he would encourage them not to write. Like you haven't lived enough life. You haven't read enough, you haven't lived enough, you
Hmm.
haven't done enough. you haven't experienced enough, you don't know enough about the world to really write
Mm,
anything persuasively. There are maybe a handful of authors that start off in their 20s that can do it, but they are the exception and not the rule.
hmm.
And so, I mean, he's in his 70s, so like,
Yeah.
oh man, I don't know. Um,
I
but it was
get
really
I get
interesting
where he's
anyway.
coming from. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, especially everyone ultimately should be telling a story that's somewhat unique to them. But I get what he's talking about. Like if you're in your 20s, maybe you can tell stories about your teens and before preteen, before like childhood stories ultimately. But to then make that story interesting, you probably need to bring a different perspective, which then comes with older experience or a unique experience. Um, so yeah, sure, I get where he's coming from.
I went to the prom. We broke up. That was bad. Chapter 7. All right.
I know, right? Yeah, yeah. But I gave her flowers and chocolate, and I did everything
End.
right. Mm-hmm.
It didn't work out.
Uh-huh.
End of book 1. God.
Yeah, I know. Book
Oh
two.
boy.
We both entered my favorite video game. I'm just joking. All
Oh
right.
my god. Yeah. So this has been our review of The Bride.
Yeah.
We are
Mm-hmm.
the Super Cinema Bros. Thank you for joining us. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you can be notified for all of our latest and upcoming live stream movie reviews. I've been Austin,
I've been Josiah.
and it's been a pleasure discussing this movie with you guys. Thank you for joining us. We had a lively conversation.
Yeah, man.
Big shout out once again to Keep It Real is Real 2026.
Yeah. Who, by the way, was saying
Miguel.
Sinners felt like an original story, mixing
Yes,
some things together.
it was mixing some
Which
things
is-
together.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah, it was fun. It's
Mm-hmm.
a take on things that have been done before. It was cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Mikhail Howell, 2719.
Yeah. All
Thank
right.
you, Genobi 21.
Kenobi. The Force is with that one.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for making this live stream fun and interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
If you're watching this after the live stream, come and join us. Let us know how you feel. We will engage. We may
Mm-hmm.
agree, we may disagree, but yeah, it'll be a good conversation, and you'll give us something to think about, and hopefully, we give you
Mm-hmm.
something to think about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, what's coming up next? What movies are we watching? The Pixar
Yeah. So next Monday we'll
Pixar.
be covering Hoppers.
Okay.
Film just came out this past weekend. I did check it out already, so I'll have some more thoughts. By the time we cover that next Monday, and then I think as of right now, oh yeah, after that, actually, wait, let me double check something. Let me double check. Because 19th, yeah, yeah. So next week we'll be talking about Hoppers. The week after we'll be talking about Project Hail Mary. Um,
That's what I really want to see.
I'm excited for it. Yeah, I like The Martian. I haven't read Andy Weir's books, either of his books, but I mean, it seems like he does his
And
storytelling
it's
is good.
directed by the Phil Lord or whatever the Lord, the
Oh,
duo
is
that
it?
did Spider Verse movies.
Oh, Chris Miller and Phil Lord. Uh
Yeah.
huh. Uh huh.
So
Yeah.
they're doing this movie. It's got Ryan Gosling. He's a good actor.
Hmm. For
Yeah.
me, it's
So
ultimately on the quality of Andy Weir's story itself. So I wouldn't be surprised if he wrote a good story. I mean, I guess well, I was about to say good enough to be adapted into a film, but that's not actually that doesn't really mean anything specifically.
yeah, there's a lot of
Um,
junk stuff that gets
that
adapted.
that gets adapted. Yeah, there
Yeah,
is
like The
a,
Notebook.
and then the week afterward we might watch the horror movie They Will Kill You with the Zazie Beats. That's what we have
Right.
listed right now, but once something more amazing comes out. And then I guess
Yeah.
actually after that, I think will probably be the Super Mario Galaxy movie, um,
All right.
which I know you're very much looking forward to. Um, yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, stay tuned. If you're following us on social media, we'll be keeping you posted. You can find us on Instagram. We're Super Cinema Bros Podcast, I believe. So, follow us there. And yeah, we'll be keeping you posted. Until then, may the Lord bless and keep you. May his light shine upon you. May he give you peace.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we will
God bless
catch
you
you in the next
guys.
live stream review. God bless you guys. I think we're out. We're signing off. So you guys have a
Yeah.
wonderful evening, and we'll catch you next one.
All right.
Peace.
Catch you guys next time. Peace.